Thank you for tuning in. April is National Youth Violence Prevention Month. NYVP began in 2001 as an initiative to bring communities together to raise awareness of the youth violence epidemic that is plaguing our country. One of Office of Neighborhood Safety's key focuses is youth violence prevention. Minnesota State Statutes 120B.22 and 145.958 are both statutes that were created in order to mandate youth violence prevention education. Did you know that the state policy says that public education is required to implement 1 hour of violence prevention education a year? Well, you do now. During the month of April, all of our episodes will be dedicated to youth violence prevention education, just like our work. Here at the City of St. Paul, youth violence prevention is every month.
Welcome to the ONS podcast with your host, Linnea Jacobson.
Welcome back, you guys, to our ONS podcast brought to you by our partners at Face to Face Academy. ONS stands for Office of Neighborhood Safety. I'm your host, Linnea Jacobson, and I am a member of the ONS team. This podcast was created for departments like us and community organizations to come on and talk about our services. All of our episodes are about connecting you to alternative public safety measures, programs, and your local growth and healing opportunities. Today, please help me welcome our guest, Hired. Hired is an organization known for empowering people and families by offering resources to economic stability. They do this through career training in any circumstance, whether you've had a great job for the last 20 years and you've just experienced a layoff, or to help propel low-income earners to higher income through additional job opportunities. They offer assistance with MMFIP transition by helping people with the tools to stability as they navigate independence from government assistance. They even have a component where they work in providing youth assistance in overcoming barriers to academic, economic, and housing stability. Please help me welcome our guests, Rachel and Hannah. Welcome, you guys.
Hello.
Rachel is Hired's Director of Youth Programs. She comes to us as a Metro State alumni with a degree in criminal justice and a master's from Alfred Adler Graduate School in School Counseling and Guidance. She's been with the organization since 2007, working on various projects and divisions within the organization. She started off as an employment counselor, promoted to a manager, and now to a director. Her background includes youth probation, corrections, treatment, and lots of work with relationships with partners in the juvenile justice system. Her passion is youth empowerment as well as racial and social justice. I have some questions for you, Rachel. Which best describes you? Sundays at home, watching Lifetime, on the couch, with a blanket, eating comfort food, doing laundry in between, or church in your casual attire, then brunch followed by family visits and an early bedtime?
Definitely not Lifetime, but sports. I'm sitting at home on a Sunday, snuggled with my grandpup, eating comfort foods, and doing laundry.
What's your favorite comfort food? Mm-hmm.
You know.
Threw that one in there, huh?
You did. Golly. I would say I'm definitely like a bread. I love like pastries or bread. That's my jam.
Okay. So like
with some jam probably on my bread.
Okay. So like you're like a toast with jelly type girl, or
PB&J any day.
I was just going to say that next. Yeah. That's dangerous.
And delicious.
Delicious. It's dangerous though. Yes. Okay. Chicken and waffles or French toast and bacon?
Chicken and waffles.
And what is your favorite breakfast spot in St. Paul?
Keys. I also love Egg and I, but Keys is my favorite.
Okay. Next to Rachel is Hannah, who is an employment counselor at Hired. Hannah is a graduate from University of Minnesota with a degree in sociology of crime, law, and deviance. She is continuing her education, scheduled to receive her master's in clinical social work in the near future. Hannah came to Hired 3 years ago to assist families in the MFIP transition program. In her role as an employment counselor, she works along the side of Rachel, co-facilitating Hired's gun violence prevention project that I can't wait to talk about later. Hannah, too, has a passion for helping our young folks fighting racial and social injustices and desires to be part of removing these barriers that can hinder their success. Welcome, Hannah.
Thank you.
Yoga or cardio?
Absolutely yoga.
Have you ever done hot yoga?
I have not. I'm very interested to try, though.
It's scary.
Is it really?
It's just a lot.
Oh, no. Maybe I shouldn't try it then.
It's a lot of heat and a lot of sweat, but just bring water and, like, make sure you eat something. You know what I mean? Because if you go in there, like, early in the morning and you don't eat and you have your water, you'll probably just get, like, nauseous. I just, like, totally ruined it for you. I'm sorry. But
you know, that's a great pointer. I want to try goat yoga. Have you seen that?
Oh, my gosh. I've seen that. But they poop on you.
Okay, never mind.
You're easily swayed, Hannah.
Second question, Hannah. Steak, baked potatoes, and grilled veggies, or pizza, wings, and garlic bread?
Definitely pizza, wings, and garlic bread.
Tell me about your favorite pizza spot.
I love this place on the U of M campus called Frank's and Andrea's. They are known for like their big slices, and they have a ton of fun toppings. Like they have ravioli, gyros, mac and cheese.
On a pizza?
On a pizza.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay, interesting.
So yeah.
So you get invited to Frank and Andrea's by your friend for dinner, and you show up, and she's already there, and you notice that there's another friend of hers sitting there with her too, and her name is Diana Ross. Diana talks about herself all the time. Anytime someone brings up a topic, she turns it into the Diana show by telling her story. Anytime she asks you a question before you can even finish answering, she is talking about herself again. You got three options. Do you A, ask your friend to accompany you to the bathroom and then ask her why she invited Hot Mess Express Diana? Or B, politely excuse yourself and tell them there's a situation going on at home, so you will need to grab takeout because you can't stay. C, force your way through dinner, and next time your friend calls and invites you out, you decline or don't answer the phone.
I definitely think I would do the first option, confront my friend in the bathroom, be like, girl, what are we doing? Why is she here? I could see myself doing that for sure.
Okay, that's a good answer. Let's jump into these questions. So, Rachel, I'm going to start with you. Give us a little more depth about who Hired is.
Definitely. Well, Hired is a workforce development agency that's been around since 1968. We connect Twin Cities job seekers to employment counseling, opportunities to develop new skills, and receive credentials and training for careers in high-demand fields. We work alongside people as they prepare and pursue jobs with family-sustaining wages and benefits.
Where did your passion for this kind of work come from?
I always knew that I wanted to work with young people. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a teacher. I think most young people want to be teachers at one point. But I think what really solidified it for me was after high school, moving to the south side of Chicago and being entrenched in the community that I lived in. I saw a lot of things, and I saw a lot of the inequities and injustices happening in that community. And it just propelled me to want to educate in a different way. So I moved back to Minnesota and finished up my schooling and went on to work in a maximum security juvenile facility and a youth treatment center in northern Minnesota, and didn't like what I saw in the facility. As soon as the kids came in the Sallyport door, it was military. Get in their face, scream at them, disrespect. And I didn't want to lose that respect the moment they walked in the door based on a court order. So I was offered a full-time position with the prison system, and I was interviewing at Hired at the same time. And I chose to accept Hired's position, and I've been here for 18 years and have never looked back. I respect the work we do. I still believe in our mission, and I love witnessing the successes of our young people. And that can be I woke up and I made it to a meeting today. Or it could be I graduated high school, college, I got a job, whatever that is. But
Small wins.
absolutely.
I appreciate what you said, backing up about the whole wanting to like go into the education path, because I think a lot of people don't understand that education is part of the rehabilitation process. And if you're educating someone or a group of people who need that, right, you're changing the way their mind thinks, you're changing who they perceive themselves as and what they can do and how they want to like shape and mold themselves. And it takes them out of that bogged down, dark path that they're on, right? So like you choosing the education versus the discipline path, that speaks volumes. And I think a lot of people should recognize that and should kind of put that on their list of to-dos in their everyday life, right? Hannah, how did you get started in this? Like how did this become your passion? When did you realize that this was your passion?
Yeah, I actually kind of remember the moment in my life where I realized this was a passion. Growing up, I was super fortunate to never experience things like gun violence, and that is something now I realize is a huge privilege in itself. And I remember early on in high school, I kind of started to branch out, make new friends that didn't go to my school, and I remember I had become really, really close with a couple of people that lived over in North Minneapolis. And as I continued to spend more time with them and build our friendships, I began to see how extremely different their lives were from mine.
Yeah.
And I think it became extremely clear how common issues like gun violence and gun safety were, even in my own city, that I didn't even realize at that time. And I think, I remember my friends would share stories like, oh, I couldn't sleep last night because I just kept hearing gunshots.
Yeah.
I got off the bus to go home and just saw someone get shot in the face, and seeing the casualty and the way they would tell me these things versus my response and shock and disbelief. It made me realize, like, there's a huge gap here. And I started to really notice in that time I developed a passion for like criminal justice and specifically helping people that are more vulnerable in communities who really just need advocacy and support. And even just noticing the dynamic with my friends in that moment is kind of when I started to realize, like, whoa, I think I could do this for other people, and they're receiving the feedback I'm giving them well. And yeah, that kind of drove me to be in the position I am today and to use my position to support and advocate for others. So yeah, that's kind of why I chose to kind of go down this route. So
that's awesome. I grew up and was raised in St. Paul, right? But I moved as a adult in my late 20s. I moved to North Minneapolis, and it was different. It was very different. And I think one of the things that really became a trigger of me wanting to work in this line of work is the gunshots, right? I've got 2 little black boys that can't go outside to play because I'm a helicopter mom. And I'm like, no. And it's different. It is different. And I remember the sleepless nights of like the gunshots. And it's just one of those things that you pray about and you just keep moving. But I'm also a firm believer, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, right?
Absolutely.
Right. You can't just move away and then think, okay, I'm good now. You know what I mean? You have to start thinking about, okay, what's going on everywhere else and what can I do to be a part of helping and making things better. So yeah, kudos to you guys. So Rachel, you had an idea for a gun violence prevention initiative with our young people of St. Paul called Safe Streets, Save Lives that impressed the Neighborhood Safety Community Council. And we wanted to assist in making this program happen as a community partner with Hired. Tell our audience about your partnership with us at Office of Neighborhood Safety and give us a skinny about the program that you came up with.
Definitely. And you said it so beautifully just a short time ago, like if we're not part of the solution, we're a part of the problem. And for ONS and NSCC to create the funds for this project, none of this would happen. We have seen gun violence, homicides, and just gun violence incidents continue to increase and increase. Every day you turn on the news or look on social media, we just saw 4 young men were shot sitting in their car the other night. So to be a part of this solution in partnership with ONS has been instrumental. We just want to thank you all for the support, for awarding us this, but you all have shown up at our events. You have shown up to meetings, and the communication has been just amazing. So first and foremost, we respect and appreciate that.
Well, thank you for doing it. It takes a village, right?
Definitely.
You know, we can't be in every place at every single time. So it takes a whole community and a lot of community partners. And you guys are one of our community partners. So thank you for being the boots on the ground as well.
Thank you. This is definitely outside of Hired's wheelhouse. I mean, we are employment, education, life skills. But such a large percentage of our population that we work with are Black, Indigenous, people of color. And, you know, we can't sit on the sidelines and watch our young people die or feel unsafe in their communities. So, you know, when we saw this proposal come out, I reached out to our president and said, we need to go for this. Like, this has been a passion of mine. My master's project was on gun violence, and I've always been doing, you know, research and reading articles and books on some of the violence intervention work and whatnot in our community. So we work very closely with World Youth Connect. We enroll a lot of the young people that are legal system involved. I don't like to say justice system because I don't think there's a lot of justice in our system.
Say it.
They are legal system involved youth.
Yes.
And when we started talking with them about this and just kind of posing the idea, they were really excited. They have lost friends, they have lost family, they have lost community members. There's guns being brought to schools. So we knew we needed to jump on this and create something beautiful. These young people came up with their name. They are they're CAVE members, and that's Community Advocates and Violence Educators.
Okay, goosebumps.
Yes, and they came up with, you saw our swag. We have, you know, T-shirts, magnets, posters, all of that good stuff. They came up with the logo, which is the stop sign with the gun and then the no sign through it. And on the back of our swag is our hashtag, Push for Peace. Like, we are so excited that we had a group of 10 young people last year that were a part kind of launching this and just getting our name out in the community. Our first event, you attended, and several members of ONS attended, and we were really grateful for that. But we were at Unity Church in St. Paul, and we watched Melvin Carter Jr.'s video and had a brief discussion about it afterwards. And then we broke off into smaller groups in 2 different rooms, continued the conversation, and then the youth came up with a bunch of questions about how do we keep young people safe in our communities? And there were over 100 people that joined us for this event at Unity Church. And I think that just propelled us to keep creating events. One of my favorites was our Artist Vision event. We were able to utilize the space at Indigenous Roots just down the street. And we bought all of the art supplies, canvas and paints and notebooks and sketch pads and markers, colored pencils, all of the goodies that young people could create art with. We got together, we shared dinner, because you always got to have food.
Yeah, that's what brings them in.
It sure does. And then we got together and we did free writing. The kids were asked a question, and they had 5 minutes to write in the journals they were given, anything that came to their mind about this question. And then we went around the circle and we shared those responses. It was emotional. I mean, we had kids, one young lady, her father was shot. He survived, but she giggled. You know, she kind of nervously giggled. And she came up to me after and said, Miss Rachel, I'm so sorry. That was so rude for me to laugh. And I said, don't you dare apologize. Like, how you respond to your grief and uncomfortability is how you respond. You don't apologize to anybody. But it was so beautiful. Then, this is where I think I shared this in the meeting that I was at with you all. Then the kids grabbed their art supplies, turned on the 90s R&B, and we painted for an hour and a half, and their artwork was absolutely beautiful. I had drove a few kids home and then drove back down 7th, and one of the young men had asked me if he could take his canvas home to show his mom.
Yeah.
It was a side-by-side, and it was just sunny, bright, beautiful, and then it was dark and despair and like red for blood. And I saw him sitting at the bus stop just looking at his canvas. And I was just like, wow, like it was just beautiful. We had 25 young people come and join us on a Friday night. Listen, when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, I could think of a million places I'd rather be than chilling and painting, you know.
And that's what's beautiful about it is you guys providing the safe space and another directive for them to come and be. And art therapy. You know what I mean? Instead of being somewhere doing something that they could totally be going down the wrong path doing.
Definitely. Art and music, so powerful, so powerful.
I love it. I wish I had came to that one.
Well, we're doing another one. And,
Okay.
And then we're going to do maybe a week or two after we want to rent out a space. And the kids want to do spoken word, poetry, music, and then display the artwork. So we'll make sure
I
we
need
share
to be
that.
at that one.
But I did want to share in November, 19 of us were able to go to a Timberwolves game.
Yeah.
These kids all showed up on time, all of them, because we got down on the court to watch the team warm up, and then we got to meet Rudy Gobert, and we had a spokesperson, one of our young people. We brought a T-shirt, and Rudy held it up and took pictures and was so intrigued about this gun violence prevention project.
Yeah.
So that was really special.
Aww,
Yeah.
I love it.
And
I
that
love
was a
it.
partner, like our partners, Tickets for Kids and
Yeah.
Rudy's Kids Foundation.
Yeah.
So it's just a super special night for kids that may not have ever been able to go to a Timberwolves game, and your first one is you're down on the court. Like,
That's amazing.
yeah, so that was really cool.
That's sweet. So that's a good segue into my next question, because tell us about how using youth to do youth outreach benefits the work that you are doing. Because I know you mentioned World Youth Connect.
Yeah. Who better than to shape this work and tell us about this work than them?
I agree.
You know, I truly and wholeheartedly believe that anything that has to do with youth work, like nothing should happen for them without them.
Amen.
You know, they have they're stifled a lot in many spaces. And I think the maturity and the intelligence and just the creativity that we've witnessed planning this next series of activities is just inspiring. They're so engaged. They have great ideas. They are dedicated. Hannah and I are like, okay, guys, we're not going to meet for 2 hours in person every week. We bought you laptops, so let's do 2 in person and then 2 virtual meetings a month. Oh no, they want to come to our office and be in space with us every week. So it's just crazy, like, but nothing in this work should happen for them without them.
I agree. Hannah, what do you think? How do you feel working with the youth and how they add to what you guys are doing? Like how they help you guys expound on what you're doing and just working with youth, period. Just like in a professional setting, right? Like, because usually you're the boss. Like as an adult, usually we're the teachers, or we're the boss, or we're the chaperones or whatever. But you're bringing youth on board to assist you with working with other youth. And tell me, what do you think about those dynamics?
Well, I have to say, like, our group specifically, and having it a youth-led group, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think Rachel summed it up great. They're the ones out in the communities experiencing these things, going through these things. So who better than them to really be a part of the process? And I think having a group like this provides them a lot of like self-agency and reminds them that they are capable of making change and being a valuable part of their community. And so I think, you know, being in the space with them every week and seeing their passion, especially over the last few months, we've kind of incorporated some new members, and seeing their dynamic and how excited and dedicated they are and how willing they are to be involved is just amazing to see. And, you know, I think they are the ones that are truly going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I can sit here all day and do what I do, but ultimately they're the ones that are relatable, and they're the ones that are going through these things. So they're going to reach their community a lot better than I think I would. So just being there to support them and give them the tools to be able to do that is, I think, kind of what I'm hoping to achieve with them.
This is all really,
And
really
I
good
just wanted
stuff.
to add too, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Building up that leadership component too. You know, we're having these young people get up in front of groups of people that join us at these events and explain our project and what we're doing in their own words. It may not be perfect, but it's beautiful. It's their version of what we're doing. So I think, like, we're just there. We're just there to buy and provide the food and Uber and Lyft cards, for real. Like, this is their project.
Their outreach.
Yeah, and we just provide the tools and the resources, and we're like caring, consistent adults that they can rely on to bounce ideas off of. And we know the people. We're help building their social capital in this as well by introducing them to people in the community, spaces in the community. but they're driving these ideas, and we're just helping them kind of navigate and set up the spaces and whatnot.
That's awesome. What are your goals for the clients that you serve in the city of St. Paul? Rachel, let's start with you.
Goals for our clients.
Yeah. Or goals for your youth. I mean, just goals for anyone who comes through Hired, whether they are working with you or whether you're trying to connect with them to help them be successful.
It is so important that they realize that they are not their circumstance. As I said earlier, a lot of these young people are legal system involved. You made a bad choice. That doesn't make you bad. That doesn't make you a bad person. I've made some choices too that, probably were not the best.
Yeah.
And I am in no place to judge these young people, but to help them see their potential and reach the next level, whatever that is, helping them formulate some goals and some ideas that they want to pursue, and helping connect them with people or connect them with tools to achieve those goals. Success is anything. It could be, I got out of bed today and I made it to our meeting.
Amen, yeah.
Or I graduated high school, or this training program, or I got a job, whatever it is. We just want to walk alongside our young people. Never for them, because that's not helping them, but we want to walk alongside them and help them reach their potential, not the potential we think they should have or accomplish. It's their dreams, their goals, their visions. We just want to help them get there.
Hannah, what are your goals for the success of this program with the youth in St. Paul?
Yeah, one of the words that's kind of been a theme for me, especially being a part of this group, is empowerment. And I am really hoping, especially over the next few months, I can provide and use my tools and support to empower these kids, have them feel empowered not only for themselves, but so that they can empower others as well. I was talking with Rachel about this kind of the other day. If you're in need of healing, like, how are you supposed to heal others and help others when you yourself still need to heal and fix what you've gone through and address that? And so being there to provide them with the tools and talk through trauma and figuring out like what exactly they need to heal from so that they can be strong for their community. I think that is definitely one of my main goals, and kind of touching on what we mentioned earlier, like this group in itself is intervention. We want these kids to continue feeling like this is a safe space where they can come, release stress, talk about things, be around other people that are in the same wavelength as them, and just continuing to provide things that are intervening so that they're in spaces where they're doing good things rather than bad things, and being around negative influence. I think that's also something that will be a big focus for sure moving forward.
So Rachel, tell the city of St. Paul how they can get a hold of you guys and connect.
Definitely can be connected through hired.org, www.hired.org, or you can follow our Safe Street Save Lives page on Facebook. And we'll have all of the events updated that are coming up, as well as past events that we've already had.
A big thank you to Hired from the city of St. Paul. You guys are doing great work. Another episode for you, St. Paul. Remember, working together and getting the word out on how citizens of St. Paul can access programming is key. If you'd like to learn more about Hired, please visit hired.org. To learn more about Community First Public Safety, please visit stpaul.gov, stpaul.gov. Click on Resident and scroll down to Public Safety. In that space, you can access more information about our Community First Public Safety Strategy, police, fire, and emergency response, neighborhood safety, and the unsheltered response efforts.